So in this video we're going to cover Gauss-Jordan method and Gauss-Seidel method. So these two are very important, and actually Gauss-Seidel method is very important. 99% there will be a question from Gauss-Seidel method, and you just understand how to do Gauss elimination, Gauss-Jordan, right? This is not much important, but Gauss-Seidel method is very important. So first we will start with Gauss-Jordan method, and then we'll move on to Gauss-Seidel method. So Gauss-Jordan method is to find the inverse for 3x3 matrix. So Gauss-Jordan method is to find inverse of a 3x3 matrix or 2x2 matrix, or it can be any square matrix, right? So in exam point of view they will ask only we need to find the inverse of a 3x3 matrix, right? So suppose if they give a matrix A, we need to find some other matrix such that A into that matrix have to give me an identity matrix. So this matrix is called inverse of A. So in AKI classes in school levels, what we will do is, in order to find the inverse, we will use 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of A. So here we are not going to use this formula. In Gauss-Jordan method, what we are going to do is we are going to make use of row reduction. That is, in Gauss elimination we have did row reduction, right? So we are going to find the inverse of a 3x3 matrix by some elementary transformation. We are going to find the inverse of a 3x3 matrix by elementary transformation, right? So I'll tell you the procedure now. So the question will be like, they will give a 3x3 matrix, for example A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32 and A33. They will give a 3x3 matrix. We need to find A inverse by Gauss-Jordan method, right? Yes. So first what you have to do is, you need to augment AI, right? You need to augment AI. In Gauss elimination method we will augment A and B, where B is the output vector, that is the RHS part. Here what we need to do is, we need to augment A with identity matrix. So what is A? So A11, A12, A13 and then A21, A22, A23, so Gauss-Jordan method is to find the inverse of a 3x3 matrix by elementary transformation. So they will give a 3 by 3 matrix. We need to find A inverse. So this is the procedure now. The procedure is, first we need to augment A and I. So A is a given matrix, so A31, A32 and A33, and then you just write identity matrix 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Now what we need to do is, we need to reduce this matrix to identity matrix. Reduce this matrix to identity matrix, right? We need to reduce this matrix to identity matrix. And what are the transformation, whatever the transformation we are applying here, we need to apply to this matrix also, right? So our aim is to reduce this 3 by 3 matrix to identity matrix by elementary transformations, and whatever transformation you are doing here, you need to apply to this matrix also. So at last what you will have is, this matrix will be changed to identity matrix, and this matrix will be some other matrix, and this some other matrix is called the inverse of A, right? So I'll write the procedure now. So step 1, our aim is to make this 3 by 3 matrix to identity matrix, and whatever the operation we are applying here, we need to apply here also. So first step is, make A11 is equal to 1 by using a transformation R1 is equal to 1 by A11 R1, right? We need to make this element 1, right? Because we are transforming this to identity matrix. So that means first we need to make this element 1. we can easily make this element 1 by dividing by that element, right? You should not divide that element alone, we need to divide by entire row. So by step 1 what you will have is, we will have first row first column as 1. So make a11 is equal to 1 by using a transformation r1 tends to 1 by a11 r1, so that the first element will be 1 and this element will be changed, right? Yes. Now step 2. So after making this element 1, we need to make a21 is equal to 0, a31 is equal to 0. You have to carry only these steps, then only you will get the answer very soon, right? You have to follow this procedure. First make this element 1 and then make these two elements 0 with the help of a11. So make a21 is equal to 0, make a31 is equal to 0 with the help of a11. So that after the first two steps, we have transformed this matrix to, the first column will be transformed to 1 0 0. Now step 3. Make a22 is equal to 1, right? We need to make this element 1 by making a transformation r2 is equal to 1 by a22 r2, right? So because this will be some number, if we divide by if we divide by that number, this number will get 1, so that we need to make the entire row by that, we need to divide that by entire row, so that we will have r2 is equal to 1 by a22 r2. So after this transformation, this element will be 1, and step 4 will be make a12 is equal to 0 and a32 is equal to 0 with the help of a22, right? That means first what we did is, in step 1 we have made this element 0 and then we have transformed these two elements 0 with the help of a11, and in step 3 we need to make a22 is equal to 1 and then we need to make a12 is equal to 0, a32 is equal to 0 with the help of a22. And step 5, similarly we need to make a33 is equal to 1. So make a33 is equal to 1 by using a transformation r3 is equal to 1 by a33 r3, so that this element will be 1 now. And step 6 will be make a13 and a23 is equal to 0 with the help of a33. So make a13 is equal to 0, a23 is equal to 0 with the help of a33, right? So I'll repeat. First we need to make this element 1 and then these two elements 0 with the help of a11, and make a22 is equal to 1 and then make a12 and a32 is equal to 0 with the help of a22, and make a33 is equal to 1 and make a13 a23 0 with the help of a33. So these are the 6 steps. So these are the 6 steps. What we need to do is to reduce this matrix to identity matrix, right? Yes. So we will do one problem. So find the inverse of A by Gauss-Jordan method, right? Yes. So what is step 1? First we need to augment AI. So A and I first we need to augment. So what is our A? So A is 2 1 1, 3 2 1, 2 1 2, right? We need to augment with 1 0 0, 0 1 0, 0 0 1. So step 1. So step 1 is make a11 is equal to 1. That means we need to make this element 1, right? So what we need to do? We need to divide by that number, so that we can use r1 is equal to r1 by 2. We are dividing by 2, or we are scalar multiplying by 1 by 2. So after this transformation, so this matrix is reduced to, so r1 we are dividing that entire row by 2, and remember whatever the operation we are doing here, we need to apply here also. So this will be 1 and this will be 1 by 2, this will be 1 by 2 and this will be 1 by 2 0 0, right? So r1 we are making a transformation r1 by 2, so by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 0 by 2 0 by 2, and you can write r2 and r3 as it is. So 2 1 2 0 1 0 0 0 1, right? Now step 2. Now step 2 is we need to make these two elements 0, right? Make a12 is equal to 0, a21 is equal to 0 and a31 is equal to 0 with the help of a11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use r2 is equal to, we need to make this element 0, right, with the help of this element. So r2 is equal to r2 minus 3 times r1 and r3 is equal to r3 minus 2 times r2, right? When we do these two operation, these two element will be 0. So this matrix is equivalent to, so first row will remain as it is, 1 1 by 2 1 by 2, and this will be 1 by 2 0 0. Now r2 and r3 are changing, r2 and r3 are changing. So I'll add calculations here. So r2 is equal to r2, so 3 2 1 minus 3 times r1, so it is 1 1 by 2 1 by 2. So this will be 3 2 1 minus 3 3 by 2 3 by 2. So when I subtract this, 3 minus 3 will be 0 and this will be 2 minus 3 by 2, right? 2 minus 3 by 2, and this will be 4 minus 3 by 2, which is 1 by 2, and this will be 1 minus 3 by 2. So 1 minus 3 by 2 will be minus 1 by 2, right? And remember, whatever the operation we are applying in this row, we need to apply to this matrix also. So in this matrix R2, this is for the A matrix and this is for the identity matrix, and here what is R2? R2 is 0 1 0 minus 3 times R1, so 1 by 2 0 0. So this will be 0 1 0 minus 3 by 2 0 0, and this will be minus 3 by 2, 0 minus 3 by 2 minus 3 by 2, 1 minus 0 1 0 minus 0 1, right? So we have transformed this entire R2. Now we need to make R3 is equal to R3 minus 2R2. So first what I did is so what we did is 3 2 1, R2 is equal to R2 minus 3 times R1. Yes. Now we will make R3 is equal to R3 minus 2R2 here. So I'll write here. So R3 is transformed to R3. So 2 1 2 minus 2 times R1. Sorry, it is R1. Sorry, 2 times R1. So this will be 1 1 by 2 1 by 2. We need to make these two elements 0 with the help of this element. So it will be R2 minus 2 times R1. So this will be 2 1 2 minus 2 1 1. When you multiply 2 here, we will have 2 by 2 2 by 2. So when you subtract, this will be 2 minus 2 is 0, 1 minus 1 is 0, 2 minus 2 is 0, 1 minus 1 is 0, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So this will be 0 0 1, and again you need to apply here also. So for here R3 will be R3, so 0 0 1, R3 minus 2 times R1, so 1 by 2 0 0. So this will be 0 0 1 minus 1 0 0, and this will be 0 minus 1 is minus 1 0 1. So this will be minus 1 0 1. So we have completed step 1 and step 2. Now step 3. Step 3 is we need to make this element 1, right? We need to make this element 1. So that means this will be step 3. So step 3 will be R2 is equal to, we need to multiply by 2R2, right? When you multiply 2 here, 2 by 2 will be 1. So when I use this transformation, this matrix will be, the first row will remain as it is, 1 1 by 2 1 by 2, and this will be 1 by 2 0 0. We are multiplying R2 by 2 times R2, so it will be 0, this will be 1, this will be minus 1. When you multiply 2 here, 2 will get cancelled, 2 will get cancelled, and again here it will be minus 3 2 0. R3 you can write as it is, so 0 0 1 minus 1 0 1, right? And step 4 will be, we need to make this element 0 with the help of this element, already this element is 0, so we don't need to do anything. So step 4 will be, we need to make this element 0, that is make a21 sorry ya12 is equal to 0 with the help of a22. So what we need to do is r1 is equal to 2 times r1 minus r2, right? So when I multiply 2 here, 2 by 2 will be 1, and if you subtract this with the element, this will be 0. So this matrix will be equivalent to, so first row we are multiplying 2, so 2 minus 0, so it will be 2, and this will be 2 by 2, which is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, and we are multiplying 2 here, that means it will be 1, 1 minus of minus 1, so 1 plus 1, it will be 2, again multiply 2, so it will be 1, and subtract with this, so 1 minus of minus 3, so 1 plus 3 will be 4, multiply 2, so 0 minus 2, and this will be 0 minus 0. Now r2 and r3 will remain as it is, so 0 1 minus 1 minus 3 2 0 0 0 1 and minus 1 0 1 minus 1 0 1. Now step 5 we can proceed step 5 because it is already 1. I think I made some mistake. R1 is equal to actually there should not be 2 here, there should be 1. Why we are getting 2 here? Is there any mistake I have done? So first we are doing r2 is equal to r2 minus 3 r1, so r2 is 3 to 1 minus 3 times Let me check the question. 2 1 1 3 2 1 2 1 1 3 2 1 2 1 2. Yes. Yes. Actually, if you do this operation, this will be made 1, right? So we should use so it should be R1 is equal to R1 minus 1 by 2 R2, right? So if you use that operation, this element is changed to 1, right? So R1 minus 1 by 2 R2. So this will be 1 by 2 1. Actually we are changing R1. So this will be R1 minus 1 by 2 R2. So this will be 1, because 1 minus 1 by 2 into 0, and this will be 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 is 0, and this will be 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 into minus 1. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2, which is 2 by 2, which is 1, right? So R1 minus 1 by 2 R2, this will be 1, and here R1 is transformed to R1 minus 1 by 2 R2. So this will be 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 into R2. So it is minus 3 here. So 1 by 2 plus 3 by 2, so which is 4 by 2, which is equal to 2. So this number will be 2, and here 0 minus 1 by 2 into 2, so which is minus 1, and here it will be 0, and these row will remain as it is. 0 1 minus 1 0 0 1, and minus 3 2 0 minus 1 0 1, right? Now we'll move on to step 5. So step 5 we don't need to do, because step 5 is already 1. So step 6, we need to make this element 0 with the help of this element. So we can easily do R1 is equal to R1 minus R3. We need to make this element, these two elements 0 with the help of this element only, right? So R3, and R2 is equal to R2 plus R3. So when I use this transformation, this is the last step. So this will be transformed to 1 0 1, R1 minus R3. So 1 minus 0 will be 1, 0 minus 0 is 1, this will be 0, right? And R1 is R1 minus R3. So 1 minus 0, 0 minus 0, 1 minus 1, and R2 is R2 plus R3. So 0 plus 0 is 0, 1 plus 0 is 1, minus 1 plus 1 is 0. R3 will remain as it is, and here also we need to apply same operation. So R1 minus R3, so 2 minus of minus 1, so 2 plus 1 is 3, minus 1 minus 0 is minus 1, 0 minus 1 is minus 1, and R2 will be R2 plus R3. So minus 3 minus 1 is minus 4, 2 plus 0 is 2, 0 plus 1 is 1, and this will remain as it is. So we have reduced this matrix to identity matrix, so therefore this is the inverse, right? So therefore A inverse will be 3 minus 1 minus 1 minus 4 2 1 minus 1 0 1. So this is the inverse for the given matrix using Gauss-Jordan methods. Very elementary. So we need to apply elementary transformations. By first we need to make an augmented matrix which is AI. We need to reduce this to identity matrix. Then this resulting matrix is called the inverse of the given matrix. So after examination you can check whether your inverse is correct or not. So you just multiply A and A inverse. So A is given in the question, A inverse you have found, so you just multiply A into A inverse. You just see whether you will getting this matrix. So if you have got this matrix, then this answer is correct, right? So you just multiply A with, that is we need to multiply 2 3 by 2 matrix. You will get the answer as 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Then this is the inverse for given matrix. right? So again, these are studied in school level. So this is I'm just following a 12th standard book. You can see this is a 12th standard book, right? So Tamil Nadu 12th standard books. So very elementary. I think you can take these two problems as exercise. Find the inverse of the following by Gauss-Jordan method. 1 minus 1 0, 1 0 1, 6 minus 2 3, 1 2 3, 2 5 3, 1 0 8. So first step 1 is already it is 1, so you can straightly move on to step 2. So step 2 is we need to make this element 0 and this element 0. So you can just do R2 is equal to R2 minus R1 and R3 is equal to R3 minus 6 times R1. So that the first column will be 1 0 0. And here we are doing R2 is equal to R2 minus R1, so this will be 1 here. So therefore step 3 also you can just go to step 4, because step 3 we already have 1 here, and step 4 we make this element 0, this element 0 with the help of this element, and then step 5 will be make this element 1 and then make this element and this element 0 with the help of this element. So the resulting matrix is the identity inverse of the given matrix. You can verify the answer by multiplying this matrix into the matrix which you have found and check whether you have got 1 0 0, 0 1 0 and 0 0 1, right? So this is Gauss-Jordan method. So I'll move on to Gauss-Seidel method, right? So this is not very important, it's very elementary. So Gauss-Seidel method. So it is similar to Gauss elimination method. In Gauss elimination method, we need to find the unknowns x, y, z. Here also we are going to find the unknowns using Gauss-Seidel method, right? So straight away, very easy. So I'll do with one example. First problem is solve by Gauss-Seidel method. Solve by Gauss-Seidel method. Question is 6x plus y plus z is equal to 105. 4x plus 8y plus 3z is equal to 155, and 5x plus 4y minus 10z is equal to 65. Correct up to 2 decimal places. Right? Yes. So you can see in problem they just given the question and they said us to solve using Gauss-Seidel method. So if they haven't mentioned about the initial condition, you need to choose y0 is equal to 0, z0 is equal to 0, and solve for x and solve for x. The important thing is use updated value for x, y, z. So I'll do with problem. Actually this is the step you need to follow. Assume y0 is equal to 0, z0 is equal to 0, and solve for x and use updated value for x, y, z if they haven't mentioned any initial condition, right? Yes. So I'll do 2 problems or 3 problems so that it will be very easy for you to understand. So first what we need to do is, you just see we have 6x, 4x, 5x. So which one is larger? 6x is larger. That means you need to keep x, that is you need to, here 6x is larger. That means you just keep 6x one side and then you bring y and z to other side, and x will be 1 by 6 into 105 minus y minus z. That is you need to find x such that the coefficient of x should be larger, and compare y now. So which one is larger? 8 is larger. That means you need to find y from this equation. So from this equation 8y is equal to 155 minus 4x minus 3z. So this implies y is equal to 1 by 8 into 155 minus 4x minus 3z, and compare z now. So z 3z minus 10z. So z 3z minus 10z, right? So again, which one is smaller, which one is larger? Z 3 and minus 10, right? You don't compare about this minus plus, right? So just see the coefficient. So 1 3 10. So what we'll do is so you find z from here. So you don't worry about minus z. So if you take minus, then 3 will be larger, but you don't need to worry about minus. So 1 3 10. So it will be 10 is larger. So it will be minus 10z is equal to 65 minus 5x. It is not that you have to take largest x, largest y, largest z. If you take largest x, largest y, largest z, the answer you will get will be you'll get the answer very quickly, right? So here we will have minus 10z is equal to 65 minus 5x minus 4y. That means z is equal to minus 1 by 10, 65 minus 5x minus 4y. So this is our xyz now. So first iteration. So since they haven't given any initial condition, so as I said earlier, you need to take y naught is equal to 0, z naught is equal to 0. Now what is x now? X is 1 by 6 105 minus yz. You need to substitute this value, minus 0 minus 0. So it will be 1 by 6 into 105, right? So you will get some value, and what you will get is 105 divided by 6. So 105 divided by 6 will be so this will be 17.5. So you can make use of calculator. Now very important thing is you need to use updated value for xyz. So what is y? So y is 1 by 8 into 155 minus 4 into, now what is the updated value for x? It is 17.5. Very important, right? You need to use the updated value, minus 3 into z is 0, right? Because in the previous value we have x value to be 17.5 and y value to be equal to 0, z value to be equal to 0. So the updated value for x is 17.5 and updated value for z is 0. So again you can make use of calculator. So this will be 155 into this will be 10.6, right? It will be 10.6, and what is z? Z is minus 1 by 10, 65 minus 5 into, now what is the updated value for x? It is 17.5, right? Updated means you need to take the latest value minus 4 into y. Y is 10.6. Latest value for y is 10.6, right? So again you can make use of calculator. You will have 6.5, right? So in first iteration we have got x to be equal to 17.5, y to be equal to 10.6 and z to be equal to 6.5. Now we'll move on to second iteration. So for second iteration our x is 17.5. Again you need to use latest value, right? Y is 10.6 and z is 6.5. Now again what is x? X is 1 by 6 into 105 minus y minus z. So 105 minus y minus z. So this will be 1 by 6. So what is the updated value for y? Updated value for y is 10.6 minus updated value for z is 6.5, that is latest value. So again you can make use of calculator. So this will be 14.64, right? 14.64. You can see the values are becoming very high, right? It is 17.5, it is 14.64, right? So it will take almost 3 to 4 iterations to get very closer value. And what is y? So y is 1 by 8 155 minus 4x minus 3z, I think. So this will be 1 by 8 155 minus 4 into, you should not take this value as x. The updated value for x is 14.64, right? You need to always choose the updated value, minus 3 into z, there is no updated value, so updated value is 6.5. So again you just multiply 155 minus 14.64 into this, so we will have 9.62. So it will be 9.62, and what will be my z? So z is minus 1 by 10, 65 minus 5x minus 4z, and here what is the updated value for x? It is 14.64, very important. You should not take this value, you should always consider the updated value. So x is 14.64 minus 4 into the updated value for this y. The updated value for y is 9.62. Again I am stressing that you should not take this value as y, you should always use the updated value. So again this will be 4.67, right? Yes. So third iteration. So for third iteration, our x is 14.64 and our y is 9.62 and our z is 4.67. Now what is x? So x is 1 by 6 into 105 minus y minus z, and this will be 1 by 6 into 105 minus, the updated value for y is 9.62, updated value for z is 4.67. So again you can make use of calculator to find this value, and this will be so this will be 15.12, and our y is 1 by 8 into 155 minus 4x minus 3z, and this will be 1 by 8 into 155 minus, the updated value for x is 15.12, right? So again you should not take this x value, you should always use the updated value, minus 3 into z is 4.67. So this will be 10.06, and our z is 1 by minus 1 by 10, 65 minus 5x minus 4y. This will be minus 1 by 10, 65 minus 5 into updated value for x is 15.12 minus 4 into updated value for y is 10.06, right? You should use this value as y and x. You should always use the latest value. So this will be 5.084. Now we'll move on to fourth iteration. So for fourth iteration, our x will be 15.12, y will be, again you can stop when these xyz and these xyz are same when correct up to 4 decimal places, so 2 decimal places. So y is 10.06 and z is 5.084. So now we'll move on to fourth iteration now. So x is 1 by 6, 105 minus y minus z. So this will be 1 by 6, 105 minus y is 10.06 minus z is 5.084. So this will be, so our fourth iteration, so it is so this will be 14.98 and y will be 1 by 8 into 155 minus 4 into x. Unit x, this you need to make use of this value, right? You should always choose the updated value or latest value. So it is 14.98 minus z is 5.084, right? In the previous we have only x as updated, y and z remain same. So this will be 9.98 and z will be minus 1 by 10, 65 minus 5x minus 4y. So this will be minus 1 by 10, 65 minus updated value for x is 14.18 minus 4 times updated value for y is 4.98. This will be 4.98, right? So for fifth iteration you should choose x to be 14.98, y to be equal to 4.98, right? So you can see it is 4.98 and this is 5.084, right? So it's becoming very closer. So in fifth iteration you will get the answer, right? So you can do fifth iteration very easily, same type. So you can stop when the two successive x values are same when you correct up to 2 decimal places. Here it is 14.98 and here it is 15.12, right? So it is not same. So we'll move on to fifth iteration. So fifth iteration also, if you got 14.98 and all the values has to be same, right? Suppose in some cases you may get in fifth iteration you may get these two to be same, but this may be different. So you need to go on to sixth iteration. So you have to move on to you have to carry out the iterations until you get all three to be equal correct up to 2 decimal places, right? So that's it. So this is Gauss-Seidel method to find the value of x, y, z, and the important thing is you should always use the updated value for x, y, z. So if they haven't mentioned the initial condition, you should choose y naught to be equal to 0, z naught to be equal to 0 and solve for x, and always use the updated value for x, y, z to find the iterations value. So I will do one more problem now. So solve by, so this is a very elementary. If you know how to use calculator, you can score marks. So solve by Gauss-Seidel method. So question is, three x plus 2y is equal to 4.5. 2x plus 3y minus z just 1 minute. So this is question is 3x plus 2y is equal to 4.5, 2x plus 3y minus z is equal to 5 and minus y plus 2z is equal to minus 0.5. Solve by initial approximation x naught to be equal to 0.4, y naught is equal to 1.6 and z naught to be equal to 0.4, right? You don't worry about the x value, right? Because we are only we just need the value of y naught and z naught. In the previous problem they haven't mentioned about initial approximation, so we have chosen y naught to be equal to 0, z naught to be equal to 0, right? So you can see we have chosen y naught to be equal to 0, z naught to be equal to 0, and then for first iteration we have chosen this with, and then we have solved for x, y, z. So here we are going to choose y naught to be equal to 1.6 and z naught to be equal to 0.4. Now just compare all the x here. It is 3x, 2x, and there is no x here. So highest is 3. So we just find x from the first equation. So 3x plus 2y is equal to 4.5. This implies 3x is equal to 4.5 minus 2y. This will be x is equal to 1 by 3, 4.5 minus 2y. And you just compare all the y's. So 3 is highest. So that means you need to choose 3 from here. So 2x, 3y is equal to 5 minus 2x plus z. So this implies y is equal to 1 by 3, 5 minus 2x plus z. And for z, you can choose this as z. That means 2z is equal to minus 0.5 plus y. So z is equal to 1 by 2 minus 0.5 plus y. So now we'll move on to the first iteration. So first iteration. So for first iteration, here y naught is equal to 1.6 and z naught is equal to 0.4. Yes, y naught is equal to 1.6, z naught is equal to 0.4. In the previous problem, we have took y naught to be equal to 0, z naught to be equal to 0. Now again use the same. Here what is x here? So x is 1 by 3, x is 1 by 3, 4.5 minus 2y. So this will be 1 by 3, 4.5 minus 2 into our y is 1.6, right? Y is 1.6. So again you can use of calculator to find the value of this. So this will be 0.433. And what will be my y? Y is 1 by 3, 5 minus 2x plus z. So again you should use updated value. So we have x, updated value of x is 0.433, right? So you don't worry about this x in the question, right? It is given 0.4, but you will always use updated value. So here we are assuming y naught and z naught and solving for x. Some students may assume x naught and y naught and they can solve for z naught, right? So we are assuming y naught and z naught, and then we are taking the latest value for x naught. It is not that you have to assume these two alone. You can also assume x naught and y naught, and you can solve for z naught, but you always maintain this so that it will be standard for all. So it will be you need to find the latest value for x. So latest value for x is 0.433 plus z is 0.4. So this will be 1.511, and our z is 1 by 2 minus 0.5 plus the latest value for y is 1.511. You should not choose 1.6, you should choose 1.511, and this will be 0.506. Now we'll move on to second iteration. So for second iteration, our x is 0.433 and our y is 1.511 and our z is 0.506. And what is our x now? 1 by 3, 4.5 minus 2y. So it will be 1 by 3, 4.5 minus 2 into the updated value for y is 1.511, and this will be equal to 0.493, and y will be 1 by 3 into 5 minus 2x plus z. It will be 1 by 3, 5 minus 2 into our updated value. You always use updated value. And actually there is also a method called Gauss-Jacobi method. This method is not in your syllabus. So if you are not using the updated value, then that method is called Gauss-Jacobi method. For example, here what we are doing is in order to find y, we are substituting x to be equal to this value. But if you substitute x to be this value, then it is called Gauss-Jacobi method, right? When you are substituting the latest value, it is called Gauss-Seidel method. When you are substituting this value for all x, y, z, it is called Gauss-Jacobi method. But don't get confused, Gauss-Jacobi method is not in your syllabus. So you just understand Gauss-Seidel method. So in Gauss-Jacobi method, what you will do is you will substitute y to be 1.6 and x to be the 0.4, which is given the question, and z to be 0.4, and here also you should substitute x, y, z to be this value. But here what we are doing is we are substituting the updated value. Here x is 0.433. If you are substituting x to be 0.433, but in Gauss-Jacobi method we will substitute x to be this value again. But in Gauss-Seidel method you will always use updated value for x, y, z. So forget about Gauss-Jacobi method, it is not in your syllabus. So what is the updated value for x? So it is 0.493 plus z 0.506. So this will be 1.507 and our z is 1 by 2 0.5 1 by 2 minus 0.5, right, minus 0.5 plus y, so it is 1.507, so which will be 0.504, right. Now we'll move on to third iteration. So for Gauss-Seidel method you should always choose the updated value for x, y, z, the latest value. So here our x is 0.493 and our y is 1.507 and our z is 0.504. so you just see in exam, if they ask us correct up to 1 decimal places means you can stop here, because it is 0.4, 0.4, 1.5, 1.5, 0.50, 0.504. But we will move on to one more iteration to get 2 decimal places or 3 decimal places right. So what is x? So x is 1 by 3, 4.5 minus 2 times y. So it will be 1 by 3, 4.5 minus 2 times y is 1.507. So this will be 0.495, and our y is 1 by 3, 5 minus 2x plus z. It will be 1 by 3, 5 minus 2 into, you should choose x to be 0.495, the updated value, latest value, plus z is 0.504. This will be 1.505 and z is 1 by 2 into minus 0.5 plus y, I think it will be plus 1.505 and this will be 0.503. Now you can see up to 2 decimal places this is correct, right. So here x is 0.49, x is 0.49, y is 1.507, 1.505, z is 0.504, 0.503. so up to 2 decimal places this is correct. So when you do fourth iteration, so for fourth iteration our latest value for x is 0.495 and latest value for y is 1.505 and latest value for z is 0.503. Now again you find x, so x is 1 by 3, 4.5 minus 2y. This will be 1 by 3, 4.5 minus 2 times 1.505 and this will be 0.497, right, 0.497, and our y will be 1 by 3, 5 minus 2 times the updated value for x is 0.497 plus z 0.503. so this will be 1.504 and z is equal to 1 by 2 minus 0.5 plus y. So this will be 0.502. Now you can see this is 0.503, this is 502, this is 1.504, 1.505. When you do on fifth iteration, you will get x to be 0.497 up to 3 decimal places, right? Y to be 1.504, z to be 0.502. That's it, right? So this is Gauss-Seidel method to find the unknowns x, y, z. So I'll just recall. You need to choose x which is dominant, right? So I'll tell more one more condition. So we need to choose x such that what is modulus of 6. So here we are choosing x to be 6 because mod 6 is greater than mod 6 is less than mod 4 plus mod 5, right? So you need to choose a number such that modulus of that is less than 4 plus 5, but you don't need to remember this. So you choose x which is highest x, and you choose y which is largest, and you choose z which is largest. Here you can see when you apply this condition, this will be modulus of minus 10 is less than modulus of 1 plus modulus of 3, sorry, greater than, right? Yes. So don't worry about this condition. So always choose x, y, z which is dominant, right? You will use dominant. It is not that if it is not wrong if you choose some other x, y, z, right? If you choose x, y, z in this way, you will get the answer quickly. Then choosing some other x, y, z. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask. So today worksheet 2 will be uploaded in a Telegram group. So worksheet 2 will be comprises of these two topics, that is Gauss, that is these three topics: Gauss-Seidel method, Gauss-Jordan method, and Gauss elimination method. And Gauss elimination and Gauss-Seidel is to find the unknowns x, y, z, and Gauss-Jordan is to find the inverse of a matrix. So I hope everyone have seen the worksheet 1. So it is the previous year's questions based on bisection, Regla-Falsi method, and Newton-Raphson method. So if you have any doubt, you can ask me, because every question is very easy. If you have any doubt, you can ask in those three topics. And today I will be posting worksheet 2, which is previous year's question from these three methods, right? So very easy. You just need calculator to do. That's it. So Gauss-Seidel method, you choose x, y, z such that it is of highest power. And if they given the question initial approximation, if they give, you choose y0 and z0 to be the value that they given the question. If they haven't given the initial approximation, you choose y0 to be equal to 0, z0 to be equal to 0, and you always use updated value for x, y, z. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask, or else we will you can leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Okay.